Okay, boys and girls, in your English books, you should have them open to page 100. Page 100, we're going to learn about principal parts of verbs. And so there are 4 basic forms called the principal parts. They are present, present participle, past, and past participle. We are going to look at the first example in your book from the 7th grade book. Stunt people take risks on screen. So we want to look for our verb, which is present tense, take. So stunt people take risks on screen. Now, if you want to take this sentence and make it using the present participle tense, what you would do is you would add a helping verb and then add an ing to the end of your verb. So your new sentence would look like this. Stunt people are taking risks on screen. So I've gone from my present tense of risk to my present participle tense by adding an ing to the verb and adding a helping verb, are taking. If you are looking for your list of helping verbs, you will find it in your books on page 93. So please look to page 93 for your list of helping verbs. Okay, looking at another present to present participle from the 8th grade book, we have 8 balloonists sail on wind currents. So in identifying your verb, you need to determine where your verb is at. And as you can see, your verb is sail. Sail being present tense, we just identify it as present. Balloonists sail on wind currents. If I want to turn this into present participle, it would look like this. Balloonists are sailing on wind currents. And again, are sailing by adding ing to my verb of sail and adding the helping verb are in front of it. Okay, in looking at past tense, an example from our 7th grade book, Polly Burson performed stunts for 27 years. Performed ends in the ed, which means that performed would then be past tense. Now, if I want to change the same sentence to past participle, I would do that by adding a helping verb. And I would say Polly Burson has performed stunts for 27 years. Again, has performed would end up being my past participle because my verb is past tense and it has a helping verb, which makes it past participle. Now, when you're looking at regular versus irregular verbs, we'll get to irregular verbs tomorrow, meaning Monday. However, regular verbs are when you're making your participle part and all you have to do is add ing or add ed to your verb, and you don't have to change the spelling. An example of this would look like this. Look would change to is looking, or sailed being past tense. Past participle would be has sailed. Please notice all I did was add the ing or ed. That means that they are regular verbs and not irregular verbs. Okay, so let's look at the practice and apply in the 7th grade book. So 8th graders glance over at a 7th grade book and let's look at that first sentence. Stunt people perform the dangerous scenes in movies and TV shows. So when identifying your verb, you would identify your verb as perform. So you want to ask yourself, is this present? Does it have a helping verb? Is it present participle? Is it past tense? Or does it also have a helping verb and past participle? With our verb of perform, we're going to identify that as present tense. Okay, follow along and look at the next sentence. Many are athletes who have decided to pursue careers in show business. So again, you want to identify your verb, which I'm going to highlight. Have decided. And since my verb ends in ed and I have a helping verb, that would be past participle. When the hero of a movie is leaping from a galloping horse, and I stopped there because I ran out of room, but in this part we can see our verb phrase is leaping, and so again you want to identify. I have a helping verb and I have ing that is going to make it present participle. Okay, let's look over at the 8th grade book for an example. Pickard and Jones traveled in a combination hot air and helium balloon called Breitling Orbiter 3. So let's identify our verb, and it would be traveled. Looking for my clue as to what type of tense this would be, and I would call it past tense because it ends in ed. Looking at the next sentence, in terms of comfort, the balloon greatly outclasses earlier aircraft. So again, let's identify our verb of outclasses and look for clue words. There's no helping verb. It ends in es, not ing or past tense. So this is going to make it just a present tense verb. Okay, boys and girls, Mrs. Echterling has a worksheet for you to work on in class with 20 questions that you are to turn in before the end of the day today. And your homework will be the section 4 in the back of the book.